Alright, back in, continuing tutorial on the T-62. If you didn't catch the note in the last video, I had a little trouble with, or am still having trouble with, my video editing software. So these videos may be a little longer, or at least I'm going to try to make them longer so we don't have to worry about any potential problems with trying to edit stuff together. So, as you can tell off screen, I went ahead and finished up the tow cable front. One major thing to note, and as they didn't mention this in the instructions, is that the tow cable hooks into this little hook here on the front. However, because the instruction says to put this small back piece on before you attach the tow cable, it does make it basically impossible to put on. However, I did manage to luck out and was able to get it on without destroying that small little part, but I would not advise that. I'm sorry I didn't catch this. It's one of those little things it's really easy to miss when you're going through the instructions. So anyway, I was able to get it on, fortunately. Now, before we continue, we're going to have to take these treads off. Now, I'll start on this side since it's the primary concerned area. Now, to take these off, you don't want to pull with your fingers. You're going to want to use your thumbs. And you're going to very gently try and pull. Now, you don't want to use too much force. In fact, I'll just go ahead and pull these off. Get them out of the way to simplify things. But you want to very gently do this. Okay, and this one part's being a little stubborn. There you go. Okay, got the one off. Now you want to put, once you do get them off, you want to set them somewhere safe so that there's no way they can get potentially damaged or dropped or knocked or what have you. Okay, and once you get those off, you want to go ahead and detach the rest of the wheels. And put those aside. I'll show you again on this side. Hopefully it'll go a little smoother. But again, mainly want to, as gently as possible, get these parts up, wheels detached. And I would also recommend, when you are initially putting them on, to use something a little more forgiving, as and hopefully not do what I just did. And now I'm gonna have to fix that. But anyway, I'll worry about that off camera. Now, next step we're going to need to do is attach this side of the sidebar area. And fortunately, it sits in there pretty well. In fact, let me reattach that top part. Now, just to make sure we have it on correctly, as this front bar does overlap. Alright. Now, because we still have this area open, we can go ahead and apply the glue to the inside, so we minimize the need to do any type of cleanup. Again, we're just going to take our trusty solvent glue, this is where it's handy to have several hands, and just apply a little bit to the inside here where the parts attach. And yeah, again, definitely you want to do this to the inside so as to minimize any type of cleanup you need to do. Alright. So, I'm gonna get this last in part. Alright. Then, all we need to do for now is set this aside and let it dry. And then we'll pick up again. Oops. Once that's good to go. And one more thing, you may want to just use a little bit of tape to help support it while it's drying. For stuff like this, I like to use just your clear Scotch tape, as it's cheap and readily available. Alright, and once it's dry, we'll continue. So I've got the tow cable now fully assembled. All that's left now is to attach it. And you want to make sure you do route the cable appropriately. But one thing I did notice was that the attachment holes here on the side runner are a little small, so it's a good idea to go ahead and use your hobby knife just to make them a tad bigger. Now, since this is plastic, we can go ahead and just use our plastic cement. Just want to go ahead and line up the hole, get it in there, and then apply a little cement from the underside to ensure. Okay, and that's all you need to do with that one. Now, again, make sure you do have it. Alright, and there we go. Now the back tow cable I'll go ahead and do off camera, as well as put on the fenders on the back. So that pretty much does it for assembly of the main chassis. Now we can move on to the turret. Now, I already went ahead and attached some of the other little bits and pieces that go on the same as all the others. However, one thing I did want to point out, which I did not, well, I did remark in the, if you did see my review video, I mentioned that there was no real identifying points for the handrails around the turret. That is actually not the case. There are little fine points in the plastic. It's not going to come out on camera, but they do include little sink marks on the turret for where you need to drill out those holes. Now, to do this, I would not recommend using a hobby knife, as I've shown you before, as these are very small and are somewhat more precise than what you can get with a hobby knife. If you can do it, then definitely you will want to use a new blade so as to get the fine point. Otherwise, I would recommend using a pen vise and drill bit. These are actually by Squadron, and it's from a very tiny set, as unfortunately most places don't make drill bits in the size that we need for model building. So you're just going to want to first find the point where you're going to drill, make sure you are on it, and then just very slowly start to drill it out. And you want to go very slowly at first, so as to make sure you get the hole started in the right spot. And then once you get it going, you can then speed up some. Now, because this particular section is a little bit on the thick side, it will take a little bit to get through. And you do want to continually blow away some of the excess dust that's coming off. Now, once you are through, just slowly back the drill out, and there you go. Now you just need to repeat this around the turret, which I'll do off camera, and then we can go ahead and attach, or actually recommend leaving the rails off until you paint it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and we'll pick up from there later.